So our big flyweight championship fight, 25 Hague, 22 the champion, 7-1-0, equal records. Will the title belt be going back to Germany, or can the English fighter keep it in Birmingham with us? Let's go to our MC for the official announcement, Buddy Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next matchup is for BAMMA's Flyweight Championship of the World. BAMMA 23, the Night of Champions. We get ready for 3 5-minute rounds in BAMMA's Flyweight division. Introducing first, your challenger, an MMA fighter standing 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at 125.6 pounds. He has a record of 7 wins, 1 loss, and 0 draws, with all 7 wins going to decision. Representing Fighting Fit MMA from South Shields, England, by way of Bangladesh, Shaj Superman Haque. And ladies and gentlemen, your champion, standing in the red corner, an MMA fighter standing 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 125 pounds, with an equal record of 7 wins, 1 loss, and 0 draws, with 3 of those wins by TKO. Representing IMAG Berlin from Berlin, Germany, your champion, Rany Saadeh. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
So Chris, here we go. We've had an absolutely insane title fight, and you feel we're going to follow this up with another one.
I'm so excited I can barely sit here, Malcolm. These are 2 of the most well-rounded fighters in BAMMA, full stop. It's at one of the most exciting weight classes we've got on tap. They've got great wrestling, good BJJ, striking all around. It's gonna be ridiculous.
And the confidence of the challenger as well, the movement already light on his toes.
Rany Saadeh with a very unique striking-based approach. He's also got a ton of power for a guy that size. You know, he walks around roughly at lightweight when he's not cutting weight, so really is able to sit down on his punches, but it's Superman who connects first off a long jab.
That's right, and Rany Saadeh smiled at him there. Fast hands, both these men, as you'd expect at the weight, Chris.
And Haque hunting here in center ring, but it's a right round kick. A little bit heavy on that lead leg, and you see that from grapplers sometime, Malcolm.
Yes, and Saadeh immediately capitalizes, takes that lead leg.
And Haque showing the shot. You know, he's made a career out of really frustrating his opponents, really controlling them in scrambles. Super impressed with that guy when it does hit the mat.
Look at the movement from the champion though, Chris, light on his feet, focused, aware, skips out of the way.
But on the flip side, Haque is so confident. He said, look, I've earned this. I might be a BAMMA newcomer, but I have earned this title shot.
And they tie up, and there's the strength you said from the champion in that reversal, Chris.
Just shrugs it off and now puts him against the cage, and Haque goes for a ride.
And here, as you said, would you say that from this position now it favors the champion?
Difficult to say. I mean, Haque has got an incredible grappling acumen. At the moment, with the type of pressure you can get early in the fight when both fighters aren't yet slippery, if Rany plays his cards right, he could secure a pass here, and that would be very difficult for the challenger early.
But also, when you say that all his bouts, the wins and the sole loss, are by decision, this is a man who knows how to defend himself.
He's using the elevator hooks really nicely to try to flick the German up in the air, possibly look for a sweep, but now he's back to full guard. Well done for the challenger.
Yes, as we said, durability is his middle name, and it will be a real feather in the cap of the champion if he can stop this man.
The challenger was very forthcoming about his abilities to, quote, beat Rany in every area. I don't care where I'm at, he said. I'm gonna show that off, my intelligence, my technique, and the fans are gonna love it. But a real battle for position thus far, and Haque trying to kick away. I think he wants this one back up on the feet. I don't believe he wants to be on his back, Malcolm.
By the same token, you get the feeling that the champion wants it here and is desperate to keep it here.
The champ is controlling him right now, but he hasn't been able to pass guard or land any significant ground and pound strikes thus far.
And as you said, Haque knows how to frustrate. He knows how to grind out victories. He's been in this position. There's no doubt about a man's cardio after that amount of fights, and you go the distance every time.
On the flip side, though, Haque known for his wrestling. Saadeh also very gifted in that department. He's got the power to finish, as we saw putting Haque down on his back. But now Superman back on the feet.
Looked for the underhooks there, Superman. Now, one thing I want to pick you up on, the possible strength differentiation because of the way Saadeh cuts weight.
Saadeh, though, doing a really good job thus far of negating now Haque on the offensive. He was looking for a high crouch originally, now swapping to possibly go for a head inside single or some sort of trip. I can't quite tell from our angle. But the Berliner doing a really good job of staying mobile. And tries to hit the switch on him, but gotta watch out that you don't give up your back, Malcolm.
Almost did there, and as you said, Haque, you can, looked for the slam there.
And Haque with a rear body lock there. Saadeh trying to turn in, but gotta watch out because a guy like the Superman will fly onto your back in a heartbeat, Malcolm.
Chris, what you said on the ring entrances is coming to fruition here with the challenger, isn't it? You said he's a difficult man for anyone to face.
A nightmare matchup, and that's just why. Head outside single, ran the pipe away from the cage, straight to the canvas. But Saadeh showing his ability to overcome adversity and gets right back on top.
Now,
crazy.
Under 30 seconds left, back and forward, back and forward. I'd be saying tough one for the judges, depending where they're sat and what they've seen.
Absolutely, it depends on your perspective and vantage point. But thus far, Saadeh, probably time-wise, able to secure just a bit more of a larger fraction of this round on top. And posturing up here, less than 10 seconds to go.
Yes, comes with the first downward elbow, and the second one just missed.
That was a hurtful strike.
Yes, Mark Goddard saying maybe just after there, but Chris, that last little exclamation point, is it to the champion now, this first round?
Looking at how that transpired, again, I would imagine near the 3-minute mark of top control for Saadeh. Though, looking back on Haque's success, we can't take that away. And here you see how he ran the pipe beautifully and put Rany down to the mat. Rany scrambles, gets right back to a more dominant position. Again, I haven't got a ring timer in front of me, but if you look at the end of the round with the top control, it was the champ who able to slice in with those 2 elbow strikes, and those were murderous shots.
A second elbow strike right on the wrist of the challenger, Chris, taking the full impact on that canvas. So 2 of 3, but it's fair to say it's still delicately balanced.
It's been a great fight and a great contrast of styles in the transitions and sewing the seams of MMA in particular, which is what I love about this weight class.
Well, there was a high roundhouse there from the champion that clipped the challenger, but you wouldn't know it from his expression.
And look at that fancy footwork. Looking funkier than James Brown is the German champ here. And probing with that jab, lots of angles, lots of looks.
Yes, a real test for both men here, and a lot at stake. The championship of the world here at flyweight.
And Rany Saadeh with that plum locked up, but then drops down. That's what I'm talking about. You thought for a moment Haque was gonna eat a knee, but then the champ waltzes him over to the corner and puts him down on the canvas.
And the judges will see moments like this, which will be key in a round that is so close.
Absolutely significant. And full guard now for the challenger. Superman controlling very nicely with a right overhook. Had an arm control for Haque.
Now, what's he got to do to build on this, Chris? Because we always say you've got to take a title from a champion in the judges' eyes.
Well, he was great running in really neatly with the left hook. Now opts to secure a body triangle. He needs to get this one back to his feet. You can see now he's going to try to push away and stand back up. He could cage walk if he turns back to the fence. But no doubt the champ very aware of this situation and keeping him down, pinned.
And very skillfully doing just enough so that Mark Goddard's happy for them to be down there.
Staying very busy. There's a furious battle occurring here. A lot of hand fighting. And Haque trying to post up here.
And we're just getting that stage, Chris, that becomes interesting for you when both men's bodies start to sweat now and those limbs start to get slippery.
And you've also now got to start to ask yourself, where have they spent their training camp? How much time has Haque spent off his back, for example? If you look at his tape, he's typically the guy on top, controlling the shoulders, controlling the hips. But now, nearly full mount for the German.
And he's been very patient, the champion, hasn't he?
Highly meticulous in his approach. But now half guard, much better for Superman here. And Rany Saadeh, cheeky left knee to the body for good measure.
Now, the thing that interests me about this one is Haque, our challenger, we said earlier, is a grinder. He'll grind it out. But now he's meeting someone that is more than happy to match him in that department.
Which I find interesting, particularly given the fact that Rany was vocal about his striking preparation for this camp. He said, look, I'm going to get his timing down, and I'm going to look for a finish from the second onwards. But he's been very happy to put him on his back so far. But that's just the opportunist in MMA. That's a guy who's looking for the path of least resistance as it comes along. And he's doing this a beautiful job here for the crowd at Barclaycard Arena tonight.
And with his body clock, he'll know that he's saying to the judges, I'm controlling this look, I'm dominating this. He'll be quite comfortable and happy with this situation as we're coming down inside the last 2 minutes.
And that was precisely my point about round one. He was able to secure more than half of that round in top position. So the judges are going to look at that and score that for grappling, control, and certainly effectiveness.
And he's doing the same here, isn't he?
Showing aggression the whole time. But Haque is looking possibly for a hip bump sweep here. Can't quite tell from our angle. And a nice elbow.
Yes, Saadeh constantly working, as you said, constantly the aggressor, constantly the man forcing the issue here, grinding out the victory at this moment as we go into the last minute. On the reverse of the coin, what would you like to see our challenger do?
Well, he's got to get back up to his feet thus far. He's not really showing any offense from closed guard, which can be difficult when you're up against the fence and you can't move. So he's done a few of the right movements, trying to work an open guard or kick Rany away, create some space.
But how much of this is Rany not allowing him to do that? How much of this is actually the champion's work?
That was going to be my subsequent point. It's not so much about Haque's inability, it's about Saadeh's ability. And it's just been superb thus far.
And it's a man in control of that cage. We're going into the last 20 seconds, almost the last 10. And again, he just drops that little elbow as well. And how much psychologically, as you said, Haque's not used to being the man on the bottom here. As we come into the third round, how much psychologically will that affect him?
Well, this guy is a fighter who's competed all over the world at the highest levels. Again, a real legit free agent to sign to BAMMA. I think he's been here before, but it's round 3 come up, and he's got to come up with something big, Malcolm.
Yes, we've had 2 hard rounds, and this was the moment where the champion was really saying, look, judges, this is me, taking him to my own corner. You could see his coaches smiling as he brought him over.
You could also see his coaches pointing to the hips to control them immediately. They knew once he put him down to the mat that Haque was going to look to maneuver, possibly try to catch a submission. Those are those moments in translation where you've got to be uber careful. But the German showing off a game plan to the T that I think has been developed on the fly, unless he was lying to me at the weigh-ins yesterday about looking to show off his striking.
Well, that's the thing. You can kidology because you know your opponent might be reading that, might be hearing that as well. So third and final round, and we have the champion only on our unofficial scorecards, 2 rounds to the good. Superman really needs a super third round, Chris.
And we continue in round number 3.
Yes, our champion in dominant mode at the moment. And you feel he's going to look for the opportunity to get Haque on his back again, don't you? It's worked for him. It's as simple as that. Why change the strategy?
But it's been set up by his movement-based striking, which is, in my opinion, the future. You see that? He's got lots of great little feints and fakes, but then goes for the leg kick. Now going to a head kick. And it's that maneuverability that allows you to become unpredictable and then make an entrance off that.
Yes, this is the thing. Haque must wonder what he's got to do, because he said it's all been upright in this opening 30 seconds. But I like the way, again, it's almost automatic. The champion takes the center of the cage, looks to be the man pushing forward. Nice uppercut as well before he went for the double leg.
And he actually level changed a little bit, just a bit wide. He actually faked Haque into thinking that he had gone in too early, hoping he'd bite the bait to defend and then crack him with the uppercut. But Saadeh then back in on that tram line all the way to the end of the cage and puts him to the mat.
And this is the thing, this has been the problem for Haque. He's had to react rather than initiate the whole time, hasn't he?
It's the type of game plan you need against a fighter of Haque's caliber. And Rany looking possibly to again take this one down to the mat, but realizes his neck is in jeopardy. Watch for Haque to jump guard when he feels he's got this.
Yes, it's a vital time for Haque, the challenger, to really show in this round.
Excellent defense from the champ, and that was a really nice, sneaky attempt at a choke from the challenger. Both of these two bringing the very best out in each other.
Yes, and there's still plenty of time in this round, especially for a submission. Oh, as he came forward at the knee, Haque, you wouldn't have thought it. What a chin. And then the inside leg kick from the champion. As I said, it just seems to me that even on the back foot, he's dictating where it's going and what's happening.
Showed a stance swap there, then came in with a right hand. And Rany Saadeh just continues to mesmerize here at the Barclaycard Arena. Night of Champions tonight at BAMMA 23. The young Berliner continuing to show off what's made him such a fan favorite with that movement, Malcolm.
Well, Chris, 2.5 minutes left now. This is vital for Haque to really get some offensive going. It's been difficult, as you said, it's not about his ability, it's about the ability of the control of the champion.
He's been on fire tonight. And less than half of this round remaining. Again, Haque trying to grasp for that choke. Saadeh having none of it, moves his head inside. Now Haque with double unders. This is a great position for him. He's going to try to hit that outside trip.
And he's got to take that trip. He's got to get his man down, but the way that he wants it, he's not been in a dominant position throughout the opening 2 rounds. And again, the frustrating way the champion stops him. Here we go, first time for Haque.
Excellent takedown from Haque, and the fans showing their approval vocally behind us.
Well, they've not had much to do in those terms at the moment, so with 1.5 minutes to go, he's really got to go for it here, but the champ is back up.
And he runs the pipe beautifully with that single leg and takes Haque down. What a mad turn of events. From takedown to takedown, offense to defense.
And Chris, we saw there that slipperiness you were talking about that allowed the champion to pop his head and arm free.
Oh, he got dropped, Malcolm. Malcolm, he got hit so hard there. Man, gotta watch that neck.
Well, he's got a minute now. He's got just over the minute. As you said, he's going to look for the time to drop. This could be the challenger's moment.
And Haque torquing on that guillotine. Now looking to go to an armbar.
Wow, what a final minute. The challenger bursts into life, his big opportunity.
This has been a great fight. And if this one does go indeed all the way, it's one of those where you just love to see a couple of more rounds.
Oh yes, the champion now recovering his composure. And really you feel he just needs to sit in the pocket, recover his composure now for this last 30 seconds, because that was Haque's big opportunity.
Haque went for that choke, but again, you can see the submission defense of Saadeh controlling those hips. He stayed really low there. Haque realizing that, and the maneuvers back to an open guard to try to create a more fruitful position. Elevator hook in with the left.
I think we're in the last 10 seconds, and that was the last chance for the challenger to take this title. So Chris, I think the champion still got it, but there was moments there for Haque.
As he wipes the blood from under his nose and licks it, Rany Saadeh is certain he's done enough to secure his championship belt and remain at the top of his division tonight in Birmingham. But let's take a look at some of the action from that round, Malcolm. And there's some of the wrestling exchanges we saw from both fighters. And the German takes him all the way across the ring, throws him to the mat there, again some kicking exchanges, but then that was the best moment for Haque, the challenger, to put him down to the mat. And there we go, that was the jab that dropped him. Haque's got some serious power as well, but Rany bought enough time and protected his neck, walks away and believes he's done enough, Malcolm.
So what an incredible title defense, and we'll be back with the decision after this break. Welcome back to the Barclaycard Arena for this, the flyweight title decision from our MC, Buddy Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you love this fight, make some noise! After 3 exciting rounds, we go to our judges' scorecard. Judge 1 scores about 30-27. Judge 2, 29-28. Judge 3, 30-27. And your winner by unanimous decision, and still BAMMA Flyweight Champion of the World, Rany Saadeh!
Rany, still champion of the world, but we knew it'd be a tough fight, and he took you all the way.
Yeah, it was a tough fight. I didn't feel it that tough, but I got a little bit gassed in the third, and he got me there, but I think I was still in control of the whole fight, so it was fun.
Now, I was just about to say, you dominated overall, but there was that one moment in the third round where you were caught cleanly right near the end. Did it hurt? Were you worried about that?
Not really. I got a good chin. I fight like a lion, and I don't even remember which punch that was. Maybe it was just a slip. I'm not sure.
Now, you are the featherweight champion. There's been a lot of talk that, you know, you're a young man still plenty of years at flyweight, but you just did hint that you're looking at that bantamweight division.
Yeah, it's true. I'm getting older, and I'm also still growing, still gaining weight, and I think that bantamweight division is a little bit more full and more exciting to me.
So, how long do you feel you still got at flyweight?
We'll see what the future brings. I can still make flyweight, and I can still be a champion there. I can go up, become a champion at bantamweight and many other weight classes and weight divisions.
Well, you still are the flyweight champion of the world for BAMMA, Rany Saadeh.